What do you do when you feel inspired to follow guidance of your true self, your soul, and then fear kicks in? A part goes, no, we can't do that. I will look silly. People might think I'm weird. We worry about rejection if it involves, right, other people and their perceptions of us. So we retract and we shut it down. There is a way to work through this. The first thing I like to do is be with the part of me that is afraid. So I make space. Often in sitting helps me focus. For some people, it could be walking and definitely being in nature, whatever it might be for you. I like to sit and be aware of where I am, that my body's supported where I'm sitting, that I'm in a safe space, and I'm in a now moment. I'm not in the past and I'm not in the future. Parts are either in the past or in the future, the fear. So when you come into the present moment and the intention is to be with them, them, depending on what's coming up, and we can put our hand over our heart and take these few breaths. I guide people, and I have some more guided visualizations for this practice, but in this video, I at least want to describe it. I have found that when we come into presence, that is where we will access our true self. But it takes a bit of patience to not rush it, to be with the part that's feeling fearful. If we try to just shut it down, which you could try that as an option. And I would encourage whatever works for you. And I can speak from my experience that I needed to go through the experience of trying to bypass the fear and coming from my mind, knowing that it is just fear, that I'm so much more. But I find that I don't have the connection and the experience that I'd really like to ultimately have in that connection when I am trying to just shut that fear down. It's just like a little one, a child, wants our attention. It just wants to feel safe, secure, seen, loved. So fighting against what is, trying to take the horse by the reins and just turn in the direction you want. And I have found some of those teachings helpful at times, but I have noticed I'm not sustaining any so-called changes, which I no longer experience I need to change myself. There's nothing wrong with us. There's parts of me that believe that there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong. We're just accessing the truth of all that we are that's already there. And so in helping the part that's feeling afraid, and with having the intention to connect with the guidance that you are hearing, seeing, experiencing, however you do, from your true self, from your intuition, your soul. If you play with this and see how it feels, there's lots of tools that people can learn. And like I said, I love the heart coherence. I also use tapping sometimes, EFT tapping, to validate what's there without intention to change it or shut it down. If you start to feel frustration come in when you are trying to be with the fear, often there's another part that's like, enough already. We've been dealing with this for so long. Why can't I just let this go? Whatever that is. Then there's another part. And you can learn to just ask these parts to give some space. And you might need to be with that part a little bit. Once they start knowing that your true self-presence is there, they can step back. They can learn to tone down those roles. these are roles that they often would rather not even be in, because they're like the intensity of it's been turned up like a dial. And they can learn to turn that back down, feel the presence of yourself. Then you can feel the shift in your body, because it is also about embodiment. We just can't do it from our head. We don't feel from our head. Our head and our thoughts affects how we feel in our body. But when you come into a coherence, a more calm state, very present in this very moment, that is the only so-called time that we can even experience our true self. If we're in the past and we're in the future, we can't do it. That doesn't even exist. It exists in our memory, assuming that our memory is even accurate. I won't go into that right now. But the peace, the joy, the fulfillment, the purpose, the passion that you may have an awareness that you would like to experience, that can be your experience. It can be cultivated, not in a forced way, but in an acknowledgement of all that you truly are. So see how you feel about opening up to this practice. And if a part of you is so strongly, often it just shuts it down and goes, nope, I can't do it. That's just not how I am. Or I've got, ADD. I can't focus. That part believes that, but I would encourage there's another truth. And again, don't fight against it. Maybe you could even play with it. Visualization is so powerful. And when we learn to go, and not everyone's visual, I understand that, but even with intention, that most of my clients don't have any difficulty with feeling and experiencing these parts in whatever way that they do. And maybe the parts want to show you some things, tell you some things. And it is really helpful to have a guide when there's a lot going on, and I'm here for that. But don't sell yourself short. You are everything you need. You are a beautiful, loving, divinely connected being, if that resonates. Take or leave anything I'm saying in whatever way works for you. It wasn't until I knew I was so much more that I was able to begin to not let my whole life be run by fear and shoulds, all of those things. So thank you for listening. Please reach out if you'd like some guidance and to work with me one-on-one.